Adalita, welcome back to Australian Musician.
Thank you for having me.
We're talking to you today because you're about to embark on a tour with Tex Perkins and Tim Rogers, the Rolling Stones Revue, revisiting that band again, this time celebrating the 50th anniversary of Exile on Main Street. Were you a big Stones fan growing up?
Yeah, definitely. It was like, for me, I used Stones or Beatles, and I was definitely a Stones girl. I still like the Beatles, but yeah, definitely. I remember as a kid watching Start Me Up on the TV, and just just hearing their songs on the radio, and always loved the band, always.
Yeah. Do you remember becoming familiar with the Exile album?
I have had to actually listen to a lot of it because I'm not, to be really transparent, I'm not entirely across it all. So I've kind of been listening, and it's pretty awesome. But I know songs like Tumbling Dice really well, which I love. It's like one of my favorite Stones songs. Getting acquainted with it and soaking it all up, and it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, there's some kind of rare little nuggets in there too, that you sort of discover when you go back and listen to it.
Yeah, well, Tim is such a big Stones aficionado, and I kind of tap into his knowledge, and he's so immersed in it, and it's in his sort of DNA, and Tex also. So they're kind of I sort of soak it up from them as well. And they have such a great, long history with loving the Stones. And, I'm kind of the little rookie, like coming in and, getting immersed in that world. But yeah, I mean, they're just such a great band. And I was actually just watching different versions of, I think it was Tumbling Dice, and one of the other songs I have to learn for the show, and watching their live versions of it. I like watching their live versions. And it was from like the 70s, the early 70s, right through to, the late 2000s. And I was just like marveling at how long they've been going for, because I'm getting old and I'm up on stage and I love it. But, you get the bit of few creaks and whatever, and sore joints, and it's like, how do they do it? Like, they're quite, they've been going for a long time, and it's just like they're such a great band on so many levels, and it's really inspiring to see a band that's gone on that long and has that chemistry, and and they're just such fun to watch. And I mean, the songs, they just kind of churn them out. I was like, how did they do that? But Exile is a pretty special album. It's really interesting. Like you say, it's got lots of little nuggets and little kooky kind of, it's really kind of eclectic in a way. Yeah.
So you worked with Tex and Tim on the Sticky Fingers tour. Obviously, you had a good time to return again. What are your memories of that tour?
Yeah, and that was with Phil Jamieson as well. Yeah, that one. Yeah. Oh, it was just the best time. I mean, not only is the tour run so well, but we've got, the amazing band led by Jak Housden on guitar, and, MD. He's just like such a joy to watch, and he's so cool-headed and lovely. But then he gets up on the guitar and he's like this rock god. It's like, whoa, dude, like he's so good. We just had a ball, and we're all so comfortable with each other. They're like my big brothers. I don't have brothers, never had brothers. My family was very female, like centric, like led. So had no experience with having a brother, so they're totally like that role for me. And I love hanging out with them. We just have an absolute ball, like you would not believe. It's like, is this a job, or like, well, this is not work at all, and we just meet lots of great people, and the audiences just love it. It was in the middle of the pandemic, like the full-on lockdowns, when we did a couple of the shows, and then there was a long stretch where we had to postpone. But when we got some shows in, there was this strict policy where the crowds had to stay in their seats. But did they? No. You know, like everyone was just getting up right up the front and getting into it. And, you know, the audiences just love the shows. They love the Stones. And I think, you know, we put on a good show, you know, great show. And it's just so much fun. It's such a great time. And, you know, getting to do duets, you know, with people like Tex and Tim and Phil, you know, they're really great. You know, they're really great show people. Like, they really put on a great show. They're such great performers, you know. And I love to perform, but, you know, I'm kind of a bit more like sort of, I have that introspective aspect, you know. And I can't believe I'm on these shows. It's like, oh, thanks guys, like, for entrusting me with this job, you know. So I really just soak up and learn a lot by watching people like Tex, Tim and Phil, because when you put on shows like this, you really do have to step out of your comfort zone and really give it your all, like your absolute all, and have no kind of hesitation, and throw yourself into it. And, you know, it's a you know, I want to put on a good show because it's the Stones. Whenever you do stuff like this, you just want to not forget any lines. You know, you kind of want to, you know, be really, really just out there. So that, yeah. So I love doing stuff like this, and especially I think with people like Tex, Tim and Phil, because they're such great mates. It's such a great, comfortable, warm environment and safe environment to kind of work in for really high energy, high impact shows like this. So yeah, it's going to be great. And, you know, the big Red Bash and the Monday Bash coming up, that's going to be great. Doing it, taking it on the road to another format, it's going to be great. So
how do the song choices happen?
Yeah, good question. We kind of just all chat about, sometimes people will go, oh, I really want this song. So it's, you know, it's out of bounds, they've got it. So you sort of have to get in and nab the ones you really, really want before anybody else does. So we kind of do that. And then sometimes you just sort of chat about what could be good, you know, for yourself. And between Jak, the MD, and, you know, the other sort of cast members, we kind of just nut it out. But there were a couple of songs, excuse me, there were a couple of songs that, you know, I really wanted to do, and I got them. So that was good. Yeah, but we just kind of all work it out together.
Who gets to do Sweet Virginia? That's one of my favourite Stone songs.
Nice. Oh, I don't know if I can give that away right now, but it won't be me. Put it that way. It won't be me. It'll be one of the other heavy hitters.
Yeah. So you play the entire album?
No, it's not viable to do the whole thing. We're just going to kind of cherry pick and sort of, sculpt it a bit. Yeah.
Did you have to change up your gear at all to play this music?
Like my music, like?
Yeah, you like pedals or anything? Do you have to add anything?
Yes, I do. I actually have to leave them completely out of the picture. I don't actually play my instruments, my guitars, or I don't use any. I'm just on the mic for these shows. Yeah, which I really like. I relish. Like, I love playing guitar, but you know, sometimes you just want to be free to vocalize, because playing and vocalizing, you know, is hard work, you know, because, like, it's a different thing when you've just got the mic. You can really explore some things. Well, I can, that I couldn't if I was playing the guitar. So it's a sort of a freedom. So yeah, just the mic, just on the mic.
Yeah. Exile was recorded in the south of France at Keith Richards' rented house, and a lot of shit went down. Have you had any Exile-like recording experiences yourself?
Have I? Oh, yes, definitely. We've had quite a few. Yeah, actually, there's an album that Magic Dirt are currently working on as a reissue, a vinyl reissue from our back catalogue. and that album was recorded at Birdland in Melbourne, and that session was incredibly debauched. We have some of it on. We have some of the evidence on video that we filmed, which will make the light of day at some point when we do our documentary. But yeah, I mean, it was kind of part and parcel of recording, and it was where we were at the time, and the records wouldn't have been the same without it, you know. Yeah, good times.
Yeah. We lost Charlie Watts last year, and wondered if the Stones would ever play again. Do you remember the day Charlie died and how you felt?
Oh yeah, it was so sad. I loved Charlie. I mean, everybody loved Charlie. It was so sad when I just saw it on the socials when it popped up, and it was just like unbelievable. Like, no, this can't be happening. But yeah, I was always been such a huge fan of Charlie Watts. I love that minimal drumming style. And I didn't know he was such a big jazz player. Like, yeah, that was kind of his roots. And because of course I went back and watched, you know, a few things, and you know, found out a bit more about Charlie. Yeah, and I mean, he's just irreplaceable, isn't he? He's just so memorable, so iconic, and what a dude. I mean, that smile, you know, that little sort of wry smile you do every now and then, like, what are these guys doing? Like, you know, look at them. Yeah.
Have you ever seen the Stones live?
I haven't. So regretted not seeing them when they came out. I actually had the chance to, there was a talk of singing with them, which I couldn't believe, via Michael Gudinski at the time, because Michael's really close with the Stones, and they were talking about me coming up and helping to sing a song that last tour they did here before they had to cut it short. So, and I wished I'd been able to, I don't know why I didn't go. I must have been busy or something like that. But yeah, totally regret that. Like, if they come out again, I'm pressing that ticket button and going.
Do you think you now qualify as a support act, having done these?
Yeah. Yeah, well, we had, I wish my memory served me better, but at one of the first Sticky Fingers shows we did, we had a visit from an actual, one of the crew, or probably more than the crew. Was it a tour manager, or was it it was someone that was really involved with the Stones, this British guy, and he came to the show. And it was quite a privilege to have him there. Sorry, I can't remember his name or his role, but he was really high up with the Stones. And he loved the show. He was like, oh, this is like, he said, I've seen a lot of tribute shows, but this one is, you know, really, really incredible. And we were like, what? So that was a really nice acknowledgement. Yeah.
Yeah. So is there an album from your past that you'd like to pay tribute to one day?
Yeah. Oh my God, so many. That would be so good. I mean, Neil Young, you know, any classic Neil Young record that is actually a dream of mine. I'd love to do that as a female like led thing, like doing Neil Young songs. Nirvana would be cool to do. Nevermind. Maybe a Nico Case record or something like that, or God, so many would be so cool. A Pixies record, Doolittle, could be cool to do. PJ Harvey, you know, To Bring You My Love, that would be a really cool one to do. No, Rid of Me would be cool. Yeah.
So some food for thought for any promoter watching.
Yes.
So these shows are happening in August and September. What else is happening for you for the rest of the year?
Oh, so much on. So Magic Dirter, for the first time since we've reformed, we're doing our own club headline shows for the first time since 2018. And we, late July, early August, we're heading to New South Wales to do the New South Wales leg, mostly kind of outside the capital, like regionals, Canberra, Wollongong, Manly, stuff like that, which is, we're really excited about that. And then I've got an Eskimo Joe tour towards the end of the year, supporting them, which is going to be huge. It's going to be great. And my new record is the big thing this year. So it's been in the works for quite a long time, many, many years. And finally, it looks like it'll go into production. Fingers crossed. Touch wood. So hopefully there's a release either the very end of the year or very early next year. So just can't wait to get it out there. And then, yeah, there's lots of little side projects and lots of little things happening all the time. So but that'll come to light as we go along. Yeah, lots of exciting stuff.
Yeah. All right. Well, the Rolling Stones Exile shows happening August, September. It was great to catch up again.
Thanks for having me. Great to see you. See you on the road.
Yeah.